Hi everyone and welcome. My name's Peter and I am doing a challenge. At the moment I'm thinking of doing just maybe a 7 day challenge where I try and find work every day that I can from home in my dressing gown or pajamas. Uh, just to show everyone how it works. And also, it acts as a great kind of accountability motivator for me so that I've got a real reason every day to turn up and do it. So, let's say this is going to be a 10-day challenge. So, this is going to be every day that I can do. Uh, I've got a wedding on Friday, so I possibly can't do Friday, but every day that I can do this, I have to do this for the next 10 days. And if it works well, then I'm gonna maybe think about doing a 30-day challenge because why not? If it works, keep doing it. So, what am I doing? Rules. So, apply for a work from dressing gown class job per day. Show show the whole process, answer questions, unless they're stupid troll questions. And what else? I mean, it's a pretty simple challenge, to be honest. Okay, have to be in a dressing gown. Because that's fun. And if this works, then as a treat, I'm gonna very nicely ask my girlfriend if I can borrow her dressing gown for one of these days. So I have to do I have to do my 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 application session from my girlfriend's dressing gown. So what else? How I get work in my dressing gown? 10-day challenge. Apply for for a work. Apply for. Good. I'm a copywriter, by the way. That's a good sign, isn't it? Apply for work from. This is. This is awful. I don't think I'm going to get much work. Apply for work from my dressing gown. I know what I was meant to say. Apply for work from home. A dressing gown class job per day. Show the whole process, answer questions, have to be in a dressing gown, and principles. So I work freelance full time. That's what I do. That's what I've been doing for pretty much 10 years on and off. Sometimes I've needed to get a day job. I used to have day jobs a lot, but I hate them because I hate being told what to do. And I hate being told when I have to work. Um, so that's why I have, to be honest, worked really hard to get to get where I am, where I can work from home, uh, wearing a dressing gown if I want, uh, because I want that to be how I roll if I so choose. I often work from like a cafe or from a bar or the pub, uh, or with my girlfriend somewhere or in a park if the weather's nice. Um, but it's important to me that I get to set the terms of where I work from. Um, and I know for a fact that lots of other people want to know how to do this. So that's part of why I'm doing this challenge, is so that you can tune in and see me doing it, and learn from how I do it. And I'll be using a very advanced piece of technology to assist me, um, so I can do doodles. So let's start with a doodle, shall we? To explain how this works. So I am a freelancer. This is to answer the fundamental question of, Pete, how do you get work? What do you actually do? I'm a freelancer in my dressing gown, and I am a writer, so I need to find clients. Now, the traditional advice for freelancers is to go network, go promote yourself, get a website, get business cards, get all of that stuff. I don't have any of that stuff, and yet I pay my rent from working from home every month. Uh, and I have that's one contract pays my rent. Um, that's an agreement that I've got with someone who's in Singapore, who I write 5 articles a month for them minimum, and that's my rent done. So how on earth does that work? Well, the traditional advice is that you kind of get as much work as possible. That's the traditional advice. So these are all like potential clients, and you spend all of your time trying to reach out all the time to find as much work as possible. Right? That's the traditional way, and that is like, as far as I'm concerned, this is a big no-no. So, what's the difference between how I'm gonna go about doing things? Well, my way is to take very careful aim and do very targeted proposals at very specific potential clients who meet my requirements. So we're gonna in a minute go through how I specify what my ideal clients kind of requirements are, in order for me to want to work with them. And I'm not particularly professionally experienced, but I've been doing this for a while. In terms of I've been freelancing for a long time, and I've been learning about the process for a long time. So, where on earth are all of these clients that I'm so casually drawing as if they're just there waiting for me? Well, the question is, they are there waiting for you. The traditional way of doing things is to go and kind of maybe cold email loads of companies, to send your CVs to lots of people, to kind of network. And I'm not necessarily completely bad-mouthing those techniques, because they can work, but they are not optimal as far as I'm concerned. From all the ways that I've tried doing it, they're very disheartening. Why are they disheartening? Traditional method, bad. So it's like trying to boil the ocean. So you have a lot of kind of width, you're trying to cover a lot and generally put yourself out there. That's really tedious. There's no kind of concentrated focus for your energy there. In terms of your actions don't have the highest impact that they could if you changed where you were targeting your efforts. It can be really demoralizing. Hashtag demoralizing. Yeah, I'm English, so I'm using the S instead of Z, like you would in the States. Little feedback or context for your efforts. So if you're just kind of directly contacting loads of people who you're hoping are looking for and want to use, use you for work as a freelancer, you're getting very little feedback. It can feel very isolating. So now let's just have a look at the smart method of getting freelance work. Good. So this is what we want to be doing, which is high impact actions. So that's motivating. If you feel like your actions have a significant impact and if they're likely to actually make a dent, you feel like doing it much more. It might actually have positive results. In fact, there's a very good chance it will have positive results, because it's that you're taking higher leverage actions, easier to target individuals. individuals. It's far easier to target individuals than it is to just kind of boil the ocean. So that's the opposite of boiling the ocean. And also you can compete at higher level in a niche. More money. Excuse me. All right, so that's all good. Let's get to it. So where are all of these people who I claim to be waiting for you? Well, they're on freelancer marketplaces. So rather than having to convince people that they need you, it can be very beneficial to go to a website like Upwork, which is a freelancer marketplace, which means that people are looking for you. So here's my profile. Oh, there's my portrait. I'm being a bit slow. My profile. So this is wrong, but not a problem. Article and copywriter with character. Okay, I haven't looked at this for a long time, but that's great because maybe that can be lesson one. Because as you can see, $10 on here and got one job on here on this account. Never fear, don't worry, I've earned a lot more money than that as a freelancer. So I'm worth listening to, and also the proof will be in the pudding as to how much work I get in this 10-day challenge. So this is my freelancer profile and overview as it is right now. And we're going to get right into a lot of this stuff, but I want to show you how this works. So say you're a potential employer. And you think, or you find one of their adverts on YouTube or something where they say, get it done with a freelancer, grow your business with the top freelancing website. So it's useful to put yourself in the shoes of who you're trying to target. By the way, we're just going to go over the basics here today because this is going to take a while, and I don't want this to be an endlessly long video. So because also I want to use this as an introduction, and also to make sure that all the video is recording properly and the audio is recording properly. And then I think tomorrow we'll make tomorrow the first proper day where I will hold myself to account to applying to one job per day on camera. So put your shoes in your ideal customer. So what would your ideal customer be looking for? Copywriting for me. So see content writing and article blog, sales, email marketing. So let's see if this will let me see the freelancers. All right, so fine. All right. We will do this another way. Well, that was easier, wasn't it? So this is what people will see when they're searching for a copywriter. So these are all the copywriters lined up here. And this is where I'm going to be ranked with this profile. So that's the context of where this will be. And if you click on any of these people, then it shows you their profile a la so, a la so. So article and copywriter with character. So this is terrible, but the whole point of this is that I open up the process so you feel better about doing this yourself, because you don't have to be great from the get-go. I think it's more useful to just start doing it badly and then make incremental improvements as you go along. So what do I mean here? All right, I'm gonna voice my thoughts. Warm, real voice copywriting or sales writing. What I'm trying to get across here is some unique positioning. So everyone's got copywriter, 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 copywriter. Obviously, that's what I searched for. I want to make a distinction content marketing copywriter, sales writer. So I might be being too clever here, but I noticed that when I started typing up here, that it comes up with search suggestions. So what I want to account for is that there's two different ways of saying copywriter, one with a space, one without a space. And they come up with different results. I think that's very interesting, and I want to see what happens if in my job title I have two versions of it. So I'll rank, so the search engine optimization, you have to think of Upwork as a search engine, which it is. So part of what I've done is get familiar with the search engine optimization tricks that you can pull with this. So this is one of those. Use the words. Use the kind of search terms that your ideal customer is going to be using in your profile. So in your job title, in your description, content marketing copywriter, sales copywriter. Okay, let's leave it at that for now. Let's just do a few tweaks here. All right, so what what I'm going to do now is read this out loud, because that's just good writing, and whatever freelance work you're doing, whenever you write anything that other people are going to see, and it's important how it comes across, reading out loud is a really great way of making sure it's not weird, because you want it to feel natural, and you want it to be easy to read for the other person. Hence why I've got double spacing and really short sentences. So, do you need a content copywriter that gets results? Look no further. If you're looking for a native English speaker with a detailed and fluid writing style, a unique voice full of character, excellent research skills, who writes... See what I mean? Who writes engaging and targeted copy that makes more sales. Let me help you make your project a success. You can relax knowing that your customers clearly understand what you're about. Get your business. You will have expert content and sales copy that makes people truly excited to take action. Whether you want people to buy your product, engage with your service, join your email list, hire your services. Let me get your audience buzzing with excitement at what you do. Click contact on the right and let me know what you need help with. All right, that's not perfect, but we are going to go on good enough is far preferable to perfect. Why? Because if you're aiming for perfect, you will never get anything done. So I think that's going to conclude day one. We've set up the parameters for this project. And that's a good start. And we've done a little tweak on my profile. So what I think I'm going to introduce going on is that I, as you can tell already, tend to go on a bit, which is really useful for when I'm trying to help people do things and basically educate people on how to do what I'm doing. But the downside is it runs out of time. So I'm going to introduce a time pressure. So I'm not sure exactly what yet. I'm not sure how to work it yet. Maybe I'll say it has to be shorter than 1 hour, ideally 45 minutes, perhaps. Well, this is a 10-day challenge, so yeah, tomorrow maybe we'll introduce that and add it to the rules here. So a little brief recap, how I get work in my dressing gown, 10-day challenge. So I'm going to apply for work from home, freelance work. It has to be a dressing gown class job per day, show the whole process, answer questions, and I have to be in a dressing gown, maybe my girlfriend's. It's a very lovely dressing gown. It's better than this one. This one's really nice. It feels really nice, but hers is prettier to look at because it has flowers on it. And I have to explain the principles of what I'm doing. But we'll introduce a time cap because I can go on and on about principles forever. So the traditional method, which is bad because you're trying to boil the ocean, which takes a lot more energy than if you're being more targeted. It's demoralizing. There's very little feedback or context for your efforts. And we're going to use the SMART method of getting freelance work, which is good. High impact actions. It's going to be motivating because of that. It's going to be easier to target individuals. And we're going to be able to compete at a higher level in a niche, which means more money. Thank you very much, everyone. My name's Peter, and I'll see you tomorrow.